Well, cut my head off. There we go. That should be good. All right. What's going on? So, guys, here we are, Thursday, and it's time for another podcast. So, quick reminder before we get into the show. The goal of this podcast, as always, is to help athletes build their dream careers in sport. We talk about mindset around training, talk about approach to training sessions, talk about everything and anything that is going to help you level up in your game. And today we are going through 3 tactical things that you need to start doing in order to pursue your sport at a high level. And you know what? We're going to get into it right away. So let's get going in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Elite Development Podcast, the #1 show for athletes looking to gain an edge on their opponents and build their dream careers in sport. I am your host, Kenny Dusseault, and today we're talking about 3 things you need to do to pursue your sport at a high level. So the reason that I'm bringing this one to you all, the reason that we're getting into this today is because, honestly, the more I do this, and I've talked about this on the show before, but the more I do this for a living, the more I work with athletes, the more I realize that what separates a lot of the highest level athletes is so much more than just skill. And so many people focus so much on only the skill, thinking that, I'm going to just grind my ass off, learning the skills, doing all of that, and I'm going to make it to the top and all these great things, that they don't realize the importance of these other pieces. They don't realize the importance of what they need to be doing outside of the skill work that is going to lead to the career that they're looking to build. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And the #1 thing that athletes need to do if they want to pursue their sport at a high level is give up vices. So this is a mentality that I know even within my coaching career, I lived by for a long time. And I see a lot of athletes live by it, which is work hard and play harder. And basically, as a coach, what I would do is I would coach really well. I would work really hard. I worked really long days. And then on Friday night, I would, to put it lightly, get fucked up. And that would, my reasoning was, well, I work so hard during the week that, when I get to let loose, I'm going to really let loose. And then the longer I did that and the more I, kept with those habits, the more I realized that even though I was working hard, basically Sunday through Friday, and really only taking most of Saturday because I'd be hungover or whatever, every Sunday, even though I wasn't hungover anymore, I was still pretty tired because I didn't really sleep on Friday, and I kind of half caught up on Saturday. But if you have ever had a hangover before, those sleeps are not the best. And so every Sunday I'd be kind of tired, so I'd still work, but it wouldn't be super quality work. And then on Monday, I was kind of catching up on the stuff that I missed Sunday. And then kind of by Tuesday, I would get everything fully back on track. And then, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Friday night would come around and I'd repeat that schedule. So I was working really hard, but I was kind of only getting 3 to 4 days worth of work done over 6 days. And I realized that if I actually was serious about the high level goals I have for my career, I just can't afford to take basically 3 days of shit work every single week and expect to get anywhere as a coach, expect to have athletes respect me as an authority when it comes to improving their strength and conditioning and helping them level up their careers. And this is something I see with a lot of athletes too. Now, I'm not sitting here saying you can never have a beer or you can never smoke a joint, but understand that the work hard, party harder, or work hard, play harder mentality is not conducive to the level that you want to get to. And it might be okay with wherever you're at now, but then ask yourself, is this level of me going to make it, one level above wherever you are at now? Is this level of me going to make it when I get signed to the UFC, when I, start making it up the rankings in the UFC? And if I'm a UFC contender, am I going to be able to live the way I'm living right now and survive and actually make it? The chances are you're not. But even if you're sitting here and you're saying, well, I could do it because even when I'm hungover, I can still train hard. How much better would you be if you weren't? How much better would you be if instead of Sunday morning being the worst training session of your week because you still feeling Saturday night, you actually got a good night's sleep and you got a good session in Sunday, recovered well, and then I had a good Monday through Friday as well. You see what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, you might be able to get by with what you're doing, but you're not going to be able to get by at the best level that you can. And again, that doesn't mean you won't make it. But if your goal is really to make it to the highest level, why are you letting these vices get in the way? Why are you ruining a training session because, oh, it's Friday night, I gotta go out and drink. It's just crazy. It doesn't make any sense. So the number one thing athletes need to do when they are pursuing their sport at a high level is give up the vices. Number two is work on your mindset. One of my favorite quotes is new levels mean new devils. So basically, every time you level up yourself, this means you're going to have a new host of things to deal with, a new host of problems, a new level that you need to learn how to understand. It's the same thing as an athlete. You go from the amateurs and you're doing it in the amateurs, and then all of a sudden you take a pro fight. Now, the pro fight, you're fighting 2 more minutes every round, fighting probably a higher level opponent. You might be fighting in front of more people, and you need to learn how to handle that. And if you just keep doing exactly what you were doing in the amateur days and not change anything about yourself, your approach, or anything like that, you might still win some pro fights, but that level of you is not going to hold you all the way through to the highest level where you want to be. So new levels mean new devils. As you improve yourself, as you used to level up, you need to be working on your mindset, because if you're not working on your mindset, you are putting limitations on yourself. One of the simplest ways to do this is a morning meditation. Literally 10 minutes of your day, every single morning, sit down. I do mine sitting right in this very chair if you're here live and you're watching the video. And basically, I just sit here 10 minutes. I have a guided meditation. It's called the 10-minute manifestation meditation that I play on YouTube on my computer while it's sitting right there where it is right now. And I just sit and I think about the future. I sit and I think about goals that I want to achieve. I sit and I think about things that I want to have. I sit and I think about watching my athletes win UFC world titles. I sit and I think about what life is going to look like 2, 5, 10 years from now. And then just sitting and doing that for 10 minutes starts my day in a calm space, makes me understand that whatever gets thrown at me today, I'm working towards something greater. And this is just a step in the right direction. So whatever gets thrown at me, I can handle. And anything that I can handle is going to help me level up as I continue to move forward in my life. Now, as I've grown both as a coach, as a business owner, and as a person, I've added more things in to start working on my mindset. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I already do a meditation, shoot me a DM and we can talk about, next steps or new things that you can try when it comes to working on the mindset as well. And the final thing, guys, is if you want to pursue your sport at the highest level, you need to invest in yourself. Look, I understand that money's tight. I understand that, as athletes, you guys have a lot on your plates. I get it. I do too. I own a gym that costs me thousands of dollars every month. I'm working through online software that costs quite a bit more money than people would expect. I've got coaches that I'm paying now. I've got team members working for me in the back end of my business. Like, running this business is a lot on my plate. But when an opportunity presents itself to level myself up, to improve in some type of way, I jump on it. Even if literally this month I emptied my bank account for a similar kind of opportunity, because I'm confident that that's all going to come back to me and it's all going to be okay. But something I see too many athletes do is they're stuck in a certain issue. Obviously, I'm a strength and conditioning coach, so the issue I see a lot with athletes is they're stuck on, building up their gas tank and their cardio is failing them. And then I talk about, I give them a couple of tips, and then I talk about, I have these programs that, could really help you, because that way you don't have to try to figure it out yourself. You just show up to the gym, it's on your phone, you know what to do, and you have access to me 24/7. And the response is, oh no, it's just out of my budget right now. I just can't do it. And then a lot of the time, those same athletes are stopping at Starbucks every day on their way to work to grab coffee. If you're spending $5 a day at Starbucks, then 5 days a week for work, $25 a week, $100 a month, you're spending $100 a month on just the coffee alone. Then if you start looking at the other areas of your life, what little expenses are you spending money on that you probably don't need to spend money on, that something like this could be way more useful for you. And again, you spend your money where you want to spend your money. But if you want to be an athlete at a high level, the biggest thing you need to understand is that just the same way as you're going to get a higher quality meal at an expensive steakhouse than you are at fucking McDonald's, if you were trying to piece together your strength and conditioning, your nutrition habits, whatever else it is on YouTube for free, that's the McDonald's of this world. That is the cheap, easy way to get something, but probably not something great. The amount of times I have athletes that have been doing their own strength and conditioning for years, then sign up with me, and literally within months, I got a message from one today. He'd been doing his own training for years, signed up with me because he thought, might be a little bit of a fresh perspective. He's 2 months in, and he literally just messaged me saying, dude, the program is magical. You are an absolute wizard. My gas tank feels better every single day. So again, it's not that he didn't have some good ideas. It's not that he didn't get some good results on his own. But because I've dedicated the last 15 years of my life to this, while you're trying to figure it out on top of being an athlete, on top of working, on top of having a life, the results that we're going to get are better than the results you're going to get. And that's not a shot at you. That's not a shot at anybody that's listening to this. It's just facts. And if you want to pursue your sport at the highest possible level, these things might not feel urgent right now. You might be thinking, my cardio is fine, my nutrition's fine, I can make weight, I don't need a nutritionist to help with that. And for right now, you might be right. But when you are making weight, are you doing it the right way? Are you rehydrating properly? Are you feeling actually really good when you fight, or are you just kind of getting by when you fight? When you do your strength and conditioning, you say your cardio is fine. Is it actually good enough to push a pace with a higher level opponent, or are you just getting by because you're fighting guys that are at low levels right now? These investments are not optional anymore. People want to try to do it all themselves. They want to try to do it without spending a dime. And guys, there are too many resources out there and too many coaches out there working with too many athletes for you to be able to figure it out completely on your own. And just think, if you're looking online and you're getting valuable information online, and that's not the stuff that's for free, imagine how much better off you're going to be when you're actually putting skin in the game. The other thing with the investments as well is when you put the money down, it forces you to be more committed because you're paying. So immediately you're like, okay, I got to actually participate here. I got to actually do the work, because if I don't do the work, I'm paying for nothing. That's not very fucking good. So you put the money down so that you force yourself to do the work. And when you force yourself to do the work consistently and you have guidance and you know that the work you're doing is the right work to do, now you're going to reach way higher levels way faster because you're set up in every capacity of the game. So guys, just a quick recap. The 3 things you need to start doing if you want to pursue your sport at the highest level. Number 1, give up the vices. Number 2, work on your mindset every day. And number 3, invest in yourself. I know these things might not all be easy to do right away, but the more and more and more you can do these, the better position you're going to put yourself in. And the better position you put yourself in, the more likely you are to actually be successful long-term like you want. Now, guys, that's it. That's all. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all for the engagement and all on the live today. As always, my big ask of you, if you got value from the show, make sure to share it with a friend, make sure to share it with a teammate, share it with a coach, share it with someone who is going to benefit from hearing this message. The goal here is to help athletes reach their dream careers in sport. And our goal and how we do that is we do that through you sharing the show around, through word of mouth from all of you. So guys, as always, I appreciate you all. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next episode.